Do you know how people protect against floods in Sweden? A thin sheet of plastic can withstand fierce floods. What is the principle? When there was a flood before, people would use sandbags to build dikes and dams, but the sand is not easy to obtain anytime and anywhere, so someone invented this kind of bag, put it in the water for a while, and it will absorb water and expand by itself, playing a role similar to sandbags. It's really fun to stop the flood with water. But whether it is a sandbag or a water bag, it needs weight as a support, and it is very laborious to carry. Therefore, a flood control equipment company in Sweden invented a flood control plastic version. It looks thin, but its performance when it encounters floods is very surprising. This kind of flood control board can be spliced with each other, and the arrangement can be adjusted according to the different conditions of the terrain, which is very adaptable and very strong. It can be seen that when the big water rushes over, it can stand firmly in place, but it has no support behind it and is very light, so it relies entirely on its own physical structure. Although the flow of the flood will impact the red plate in the horizontal direction, the impact force hitting the plate will be dispersed to the ground, coupled with the effect of its own gravity, so that the plastic plate close to the ground can obtain greater downforce, so as to ensure that the flood control board cannot stand upright. Due to the lightweight design, one person can lay a whole line of defense, and it is also very convenient to store. If you look carefully at the propeller of a ship that has been used for many years, you will find that there are densely packed holes all over it, and it feels that the propeller has been corroded beyond recognition. Would you believe it if I told you that these are all caused by water? We know that the displacement of a ship can usually reach tens of thousands of tons, and the device that provides power for it is the propeller at the tail. Therefore, the propeller is usually made of high-strength alloy materials. But such a hard propeller was eventually defeated by water. We can see that when the propeller turns rapidly, the tail will cause a series of splashes. But if you look closely, you can see that these are air bubbles. Because when the propeller pushes forward, it will displace the water in the tail and form a vacuum, so air bubbles are produced. But these bubbles will be squeezed by the pressure of seawater, resulting in local water jets. The flow speed of these waters can reach thousands of kilometers. Isn't it very exaggerated? Such small water bubbles cause the back of the propeller to be continuously impacted, so various corrosive smells appear, which is the cavitation phenomenon. This is also a problem that has plagued ships and submarines for many years. In fact, the power of water has never been underestimated. Why do German truck drivers put an iron chain under the car and keep beating their tires? Seeing its usefulness, you can understand how important it is. You must be careful when driving in snow, as slippery snow is prone to traffic accidents. In order to cope with such bad road conditions, people will install anti-skid chains on the tires. Although it has a certain effect, it is not only troublesome to install, but also very inconvenient for drivers who drive on ice and snow roads all year round. The Germans invented an automatic anti-skid chain, which is usually hidden in the chassis of the vehicle. When encountering a slippery road, you only need to press the switch in the car, and the anti-skid chain will automatically unfold and rotate. The iron chain is fed under the wheel, so that the wheel is always pressed against the iron chain, which greatly increases the friction of the tire. In fact, this set of equipment is very convenient. It is composed of three main parts: cylinder, bracket, and anti-skid chain. It can be installed near the tires according to the chassis structure of different vehicles. It can be seen that after the anti-skid chains are turned on, the grip of the truck is instantly improved a lot. In this way, the large truck fully loaded with goods can travel more safely on the snow. Moreover, the iron chain will also crush the ice and snow on the ground during the whipping process, which has a certain snow sweeping effect.